I've recently started a new treatment for my multiple sclerosis. I went to a new doctor, lots of complications and all kinds of delays, and now I'm in a study group. I'm actually in a study for different medication as well, because I told the doctors again and again that the cortisone therapy didn't seem to help my brain, and it seems like the MRI scans afterwards I've always still got brain activity, so I'm not too sure if this means that I am not really responding to the steroid treatment at all. I keep telling the doctors it feels like I'm not responding at all, and like it just made me feel really, really sick for weeks, but the fog in my brain never went away. And now I started new treatment on Wednesday, which wasn't fun. It was like an infusion, like hanging on a drip in a hospital for about 6 hours. But thank you, Del Mar Hospital Barcelona. They were so nice to me. They were kind, friendly. They would have given me anything. They treated me like I'm a first class passenger on a plane. Like, they were very, very kind. And, that like when I fell asleep, they let me sleep, even though they needed to check my blood pressure. Like, they were very, very gentle and kind, and I felt like I was really being treated really well for once. Obviously, this is all public health service, so like I'm not paying for this. This is all service that was offered for free, which is also making it a little bit harder for me to get treatment. I was already saying this a while ago, like if I was a rich person, I would already have been in treatment about a few years ago, I'm sure. But that's not really what I need to talk about. It seems that, like, apparently the doctor told me, and it also seems this way, that I do have a rather aggressive form of MS. So it is evolving rather rapidly. And the other thing, like, that's obviously not good news, but I'm slowly, like, sort of questioning what the doctor said, because I'm not too sure if he was trying to scare me into doing the treatment as soon as possible. Because he's only seen one MRI, I don't know why he thinks that he can then assume it's aggressive, unless, because he doesn't have any comparison. He's seen one MRI. But what we did see, or what I did see, or what I could easily see in the MRI, is that I've got like these focal findings on the optical nerve, as well as my neck and more. So I've been in a lot of pain, and I haven't been able to see. And I've been telling the doctors over and over, and every time, because I'm a very calm, like I'm not gonna go in crying, saying like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. Like, I go like, look, I'm in the worst pain I've ever been in my life. And then they look at me and go like, I don't think so. That doesn't sound like you're in a lot of pain. So I think this may have been something that has haunted my whole like medical service. Because like I've been treated, like I've been misdiagnosed more times than I've been rightly diagnosed, in quite spectacular fashion actually. So there's not that much trust for doctors and what they have to say. But the most important thing is that, like, I think I already realized that my eye wasn't going to get better. I already accepted that a while ago. I think I may have already mentioned it in a video a few times. I'm not too sure, because why the hell would I listen to my own videos? So it wasn't really that big of a shock. The news that it may be an aggressive form of MS obviously is not the most convenient news, but what are you gonna do about it? doesn't like it doesn't even really make any difference, because I can't worry about that yet, because all I'm concerned about is that I'm actually okay now. I've been given some rather strong painkillers, which, to be honest, I don't really want to take painkillers. I don't want to feel like I'm sick. I don't want to feel like I need to take this painkiller to function. But unfortunately, I was in so much agony from my back pain, and now the painkillers have changed my life again. So now I can actually function. Like before, it was like if I wake up with back pain, I could be pretty sure that it's gonna be a hard move to go shopping, or if I have to go further away, I'm gonna have to cancel. And if I have it, like now I've got the painkillers, so now I don't like being dopey from them, because my reaction time's slow and I skateboard everywhere. So when my reaction time's slow, I fall on my face. So I'm not a huge fan, but I'm very grateful for the help that they've given. So I have another appointment just to check if the treatment that I took has not damaged my health and maybe has taken some effect. I am super optimistic, to be honest, because it was the first time that they gave me anything where I felt like my brain was sort of a little bit clearer. And I slept a little bit less than I normally did. And it was like a completely different scenario to when I had the steroids. The steroids just completely messed me up. So I'm super, like, I don't want to say, like, I've got this appointment on the 21st, and then I'm going to see what happens from then on. But it would be very convenient if this treatment actually works for me, or this is actually what I can do in terms of treatment for MS. Because, like, I was actually at the point where I was saying, like, I think I may refuse cortisone to then, like, to not slow down the progression of the disease, because in my mind it didn't make sense that I'm giving away so many months of my life when I'm healthy and I can still skateboard and I can still talk to you. Why should I give so many months of this life that I'm still living right now just to hang a few months at the end of my life? So I was like on the brink of going like I'm never going back to hospital again. Like I'm never letting them give me steroids again. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't even notice. But thank God I was offered this therapy, or this therapeutic measure. And even though it was like my worst nightmare of like, you need to come to hospital early in the morning and stay there all day and not move out of your chair. It's not very fun for me. Like, I hate the feeling of being trapped and not being able to escape. And like, there's no worse way to be trapped than on a drip in a hospital. But thank God the nurses were extremely nice to me, and they made me feel very comfortable. Like, they gave me a blanket, and like everything was really, like, they really took great care of me. So thank you very much, Delmar Hospital. And so now I'm just gonna wait for the blood checkup, hope that my body responded appropriately, and then we'll see from there. And the eye is not really, like, yeah, of course I'd rather be able to see. Like, it's a struggle. It's not easy. It's like, if I need to go into a new shop, it's scary because I don't know where anything is. And as I walk in and walk past, everything's a blur. So like, all the shelves look identical. Like, it's just one 2D layer more or less. I can't see the items. I need to stop and stare down everything to be able to see it. So I'm always very excited when I find stuff. I don't normally ask for help, but I should maybe start to talk practice Spanish and talk to people. So I'm feeling rather well. I'm still sick, obviously. I'm still not completely well. I'm adjusting. I think I'm slowly adjusting to this is my new life now. I can't go out and do sports all day, every day anymore. I'm learning by doing more or less, and I'm doing too much, and then I'm completely messed up the next day. And you can just feel it. You can tell if you're sensitive, and if you take, I know my body so well. So as soon as something's weird, I'm on high alert. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, why do I feel like I've been hit by a train? And you go like, okay, so last time you went climbing and you didn't make it to the top. You didn't make it to the top about 5 times, so that was maybe too excessive. So I need to adjust to a new life now, but it's not like I'm not doing, I'm constantly doing something, creative meditation. So my life is about creative meditation. Climbing is creative meditation. Skateboarding is. Now when I'm stuck at home, obviously I'm still sort of not really writing the book anymore. I'm trying to edit it down, which is hard when you can't see. So I do a little bit at a time and then stop again. But what is more fun is drawing. So I'm starting to try and maybe come up with some comic drawings. Hopefully for your benefit, but mostly because it's fun. I just want to try and see if what I'm saying to you can translate into a cartoon, or if you have the picture reference, maybe that'll help as well, help you guys understand. And you can talk about going blind as relaxed as me as well. It's I don't compare myself to what I was before, and I don't imagine myself without MS. It doesn't exist. So as soon as you don't have any ideas about any of that, then you surprise yourself at how much you can actually do. In my mind, there's no such thing as what were my life without MS, if only I didn't have MS, or what was my life before MS. What would my life be like if I didn't, if I was completely healthy right now? Or why don't I get to be 80 years old sitting on a stoop? There's none of this exists, because any of this would make me extremely unhappy. If I just look at what is, and the doctors told me I was going to go blind 3 or 4 years ago, and then I'm looking at my blindness, or the way that I'm blind now. I am sort of a little bit I can't properly see because I see double and stuff, but it's not that bad. When they told me 3 years ago, I thought it was going to be way, way worse. I really thought that I wouldn't be able to see anything, both my eyes would go black, but that's not what it is. It's my brain is sort of tricking myself into thinking I can sort of see, but I miss details, so I can't see small things, or there's a little bit of depth that has gotten lost. That doesn't mean I can't enjoy a bird singing. It doesn't mean I can't see a rainbow. That doesn't mean I can't see this guy doing a skateboard trick or whatever. So if I compared my life to what it should be, could be, would have been, then I'd be unhappy. But this is exactly all that Krishnamurti is talking about. Why do we waste our time and energy thinking about things that should have been, could have been, when we can just accept what is? And what is isn't perfect. Never is. Perfection doesn't exist. But if I can accept myself for who I am, rotty brain and all, then I'm happy. So while people may look at me and go oh, it must be so miserable if she can't see properly and she can barely see. I fall on my face a lot skateboarding now, because I can't see small things, and I just roll over them and I fall. So it's a very easy thing to go okay, I think I can't skateboard anymore. And like if you've taken a few falls on the knee like twice in a row unexpectedly, it really, really hurts. Like and then it's easy to say like, okay, I think I can't skateboard anymore, but I don't. I refuse to. Like until like there's some like literal evidence like, hey, look, you got hit by a car, you can't skateboard, and that's not what's gonna happen. I'm very careful with traffic. It's always just small falls. They're just small falls, and like it's sort of good. Like it's just slapping me, going like, hey, you're half blind. Remember this, you're half blind. And I need it because like when I'm crossing the road, I need to look more often now, and I have to be a little bit more careful. So like as unelegant and like gross as it may be to just fall on your face on the skateboard and fall on the concrete and scrape yourself and hurt yourself, it is reality. I'm trying to skateboard without being able to see, and this is showing me, look, be careful, because you can't see properly. And then I could be scared of it and just stop doing it and avoiding it. But what I do is I learn my lesson from the fall and go, okay, I can't really skateboard there anymore. Now I can skateboard here, this is safe. And I adapt to the new, everything's changed. All the circumstances have changed, and now I need to adapt to them. You need to go with the flow. You need to move forward. And, if old me probably would already be dead by now, because I wouldn't have been doing that. I would have gotten the MS diagnosis and gone like, well, you may as well kill yourself now. Like, you don't have any money, you don't have anybody that loves you, you don't have anything to live for, and then you're gonna die, like, in a wheelchair. Like, pretty much my worst case scenario, I think. Like, dying I've been dealing with for a long time, but dying in a wheelchair was something that was like my worst nightmare. I don't know if I'm gonna die in a wheelchair because I might get hit by a bus anyway, so like I'm just saying that's what old me would have focused on, and guess what, 100% I would have been in a wheelchair so much quicker. Like, I'm sure that like, not dragging yourself down keeps me active and moving and keeps me going. So I may be wrong, but like, this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to live my life like I don't have MS. I need to remind myself that I have MS quite often. Like, after I go climbing and then I'm like passed out almost, this doesn't normally happen. Normally I go climbing and I eat and I go skateboarding and I do this and I do this. And now my life's changed quite a lot. I think it may still be a reaction from the medication, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, just needed to give you an update and just telling you what's going on. And suppose it's it's a little bit of bad news, I suppose, but not really, because like, we're all gonna die in the end anyway. Like, I am like super hyper aware of dying. How many people have a heart attack and they didn't know they were gonna die? They didn't say goodbye to their friends. Like, I'm saying goodbye to my friends. In a nice way. Like, I'm not like, hey, I might die tomorrow, so just in case, goodbye. It's like every day I want to look at them and go like, look, I really appreciate you for this and this and this. And like, I try. I'm not religiously doing it, because I have soon found out that people think I'm a sucker. But like, I try to just make sure that they know how I feel about them. It's important to me, because just in case I die. So I'm super happy that I'm in this treatment. All I can say is like, hopefully it works. Hopefully this is like the way that I'm gonna go forward from now on, which would be very convenient if it was like that, because I hated the steroids so much, cortisone. So anyway, thank you very much for listening, and one love. Talk to you soon.